Rise Radio Network, where advice meets action.
We're here to spark your growth, lift your spirit, and help you crush your potential.
Rise awakening, hear the call. Through the static, we break the wall. Your station, your voice, where dreams awaken in life. Rise awakening, now is the time.
Rise Awakenings, let's rise together.
I told the mirror I'd change my ways, swore to the sunrise I'd face my days. But my shadow knows, it always knows. Promises crumble like paper in rain. I'm the thief and the victim too, breaking deals with my own truth. Broken integrity, it's all I see. A house of cards collapsing in me. Broken integrity, it cuts so deep. I'm wide awake, but I can't keep me. I etch my vows in the foggy glass, watch them vanish as the moment pass. My reflection smirks, it's in on the game, it knows my patterns, it knows my shame. Words I whisper, they fade like smoke. Every promise just a cruel joke. Broken integrity, it's all I see. A house of cards collapsing in me. Broken integrity, it cuts so deep. I'm wide awake, but I can't keep me. Made too many promises that I couldn't keep. Crawling out of the dark, swimming up from the deep. Can I shake this pain? Because it always hurts. If I live my truth, can I remove this curse? And I'm living broken integrity, it's all I see. A house of cards collapsing in me. Broken integrity, it cuts so deep. I'm wide awake, but I can't keep me.
It's Brindlewolf and Diane, so listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments. has never been. Phoenix Talks with Brindlewolf and Diane. Phoenix Talks, so tune in if you can.
Welcome back to Phoenix Talks. We are back. We had to take a week off so that Miss Thing over here could get a little break.
Yes, I still have the congestion, but it's not like I'm not coughing every time I open my mouth, so we're good now.
As long as I don't make her laugh too hard, she'll be all right.
Don't make me laugh too hard. That's when the trouble starts.
That is when the trouble starts. And you guys just heard my brand new creation using Suno, Broken Integrity.
That was amazing. Every song just blows my mind, and it's like, why isn't this on the radio? Every single one that you produce.
Thank you. Yeah, and that one, I did have a hand in the lyrics, and the entire melody was just something that I ad-libbed right in.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for your love on that. And that is our topic for the night, Broken Integrity.
Yes.
But here's the thing, and if you paid attention, if you made it in and were able to really hear the lyrics of the song, I'm tempted to play it again at the end, just so that you can really let it sink in. Not just because I love it so much. That's just part of it. That's just part of it. But, we talk about integrity for how we present ourselves with others and promises that we make to others and keep fulfilling and making sure that we're owning up to that. But this is about you individually and the promises that you've made to yourself that you either haven't. I was waiting for someone in the chat to say that they're so broke that they can't afford to pay attention. I knew someone was going to kick that line off. I just didn't know who. But seriously, this is about you and the things that you hold on to that you didn't do. Like, all of my life I was going to do insert here.
Mm-hmm.
First thing that comes to mind is usually the thing that holds you back the most. Because, oh God, now it's too late, is it? That you were going to chime in.
No, this is such a great topic, and it needs to be talked about because it's a roundabout discussion of self-betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
And let's put into specific context certain types of self-betrayal and the broken integrity. Okay, so I'm going to throw myself under the bus right now. I don't have a master's degree, and I never got to go for my doctorate. All that my initial promises to myself were, this is where I'm going to go with this aspect of the career. Well, life happened and had a completely other idea for me. And no, it's never too late, but it's not even what fits me anymore.
Right.
I'm still doing what I'm doing, just minus society's idea of what qualifies me to do it. And so that's something that I feel like there's a lot of lack of self-compassion sometimes out there in the world, because you hear it in their laments, like, I was supposed to do this and I was supposed to do that and I never got to do this. And there's regret, there's resentment, all those things get tucked in with that kind of a self-betrayal.
Yeah.
That's so unhealthy and so unnecessary, because at the end of the day, it's not where you were meant to be. If it's meant for you, it'll come to you. If it's meant for you, it'll unfold, but perhaps there's things that need to happen first before you get there. So are you already writing it off? Like, you have to see things from a different perspective with this particular branch, because life happens and it doesn't always fit in what you decided it's supposed to look like. So, are you really betraying yourself, or are you convincing yourself that you're betraying yourself? So, on that specific subject, you do need to give yourself a lot more grace and shift your mindset into, okay, well, it wasn't aligned at the time and I was expecting it to be a certain way, but I need to have all these other experiences first
Mm-hmm.
before I could even reconsider.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's also other types of self betrayal, like those relationships you stayed too long in and you saw the signs and you ignored the signs. And
It's also broken integrity because I swore I'd never allow myself to be treated this way.
right, right.
And I swore I'd never be like my parents. And I
Hmm.
swore I'd always be on time to work. And I could go on.
Right, right, right. Well, in that relationship branch, you might as well sit on that branch for a minute because everyone's experienced that. Everyone's decided to feel that resentment towards themselves for their own broken integrity when it comes to, I said I was never going to tolerate that again, and here I am again. That one I think all of us can relate to.
When I used to work at that pizza place, I found every time I said never, it happened.
Hmm.
I will never become a manager in this store. I will never be a GM.
Yeah.
Never say never because never always ends.
And here's why, because you don't know the layers to which you need to learn the ways in which you were programmed to believe certain things and what level of toxicity was normalized that was so familiar that you don't recognize it. So, like, there's so many layers to these things. You can't shame and blame yourself for them. And that's where we can heal that broken integrity resentment that we build up for ourselves. The
Yeah.
self compassion comes in again. You did what you needed to do to survive, okay? Because you're back into fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. You're back in survival mode. You're going to do what it takes. That doesn't mean you're not an authentic person. That doesn't mean that you're intentionally betraying yourself and shaming yourself for it. It just means you got to do what you got to do until you can get yourself safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be given with grace because we're not going to be perfect people when we're in survival mode, especially not when we're in danger.
Oh, yeah.
So that type of broken integrity, give it grace, give it compassion, feed it love. I don't think we're going to find a broken integrity that I'm not going to feed love to. Okay, let's just go straight there.
Now, see, when Never ended and I became a GM, it was under a survival thing because I had an option because the current GM that was working there walked. They had nobody. And I had literally just gotten back from a vacation.
Mhm.
And the day that whenever I took a vacation, I always had a day of rest in between so that I could decompress and get ready to go back. And on my decompression day, I get a call from my boss. Hey, would you be interested? And I thought for a moment, I don't know. But my mind just immediately started engaging. It went into survival mode because at that point I had the option of somebody new who knew nothing about the operations of that store and what to expect, or stepping up. So it was a survival tactic for myself at the time. God, I wish I hadn't done it.
But you got useful knowledge out of it.
Oh, I got so much out of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It wasn't pleasant, but you got a lot out of it.
But a lot of times we make decisions like that that break the integrity of, I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to stay. Because, like she just said, we flip into survival mode
Mm-hmm.
because we're afraid of the uncomfortable.
Right.
So we break our integrity
Mm-hmm.
because we're afraid of the uncomfortable. Isn't that an interesting paradox?
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of areas where it's life happens, we go back into survival mode, something unforeseen interrupts whatever it is that was supposed to be done or whatever. So when it comes to that kind of broken integrity, I think that the level of grace that we need to give ourselves has to include that gratitude and compassion that we feel towards ourselves when we understand why we had to experience that in order to learn where our boundary was, where our threshold was, where our parameter was, or where we need to redirect our energy, what wasn't aligned, what isn't resonating anymore. There's reasons for things to get interrupted and you to break that integrity on some level.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about the broken integrity with regards to you making a promise and then finding out information and now it no longer resonates with you? Or something shifting in that dynamic and now it no longer resonates with you. And so now you're going to intentionally choose to break integrity because it's no longer aligned. Let's talk about that little nugget because that one's a little bit of
Oh,
how many times we
we're gonna
all
go down the Micah pause rabbit hole now, huh? Because you might get asked to do something. You might say you're going to do something, and then all of a sudden you can find yourself continuously distracted from it, or it's kind of like one of those, and you're afraid to answer type of things when somebody asks if you'll do something. If you have one of those moments, there's a reason, which will let itself be seen later. It always does. That's a natural gut instinct that just happens. But most of us are afraid that if we ignore it and we just do it anyway, that we're going to wind up upsetting other people. I'm going back to you made a nice segue to a
yes,
comment from Polyjamorous that was in the chat just a little bit ago, which I have to
I
scroll
missed it. What was
way up.
it?
Okay, there we go. Right here. I just feel like I'm letting everyone down when I don't live up to my full potential or fail to provide follow through on a promise. Well,
So
natural.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna flip the script on y'all when it comes to this one, because at the end of the day, if we get new information or some circumstances change, dynamic changes that no longer resonates with us and is no longer in alignment with us, when we made that promise, we promised with those specific parameters in mind that were aligned with us. So, what if it would be breaking your integrity if you continued forward with doing something? Now, I'm going to use an extreme example of this. What if somebody calls you, says, well, I just need to get a ride. That's all. You don't have to do anything. I just need a ride from you. What if you find out that it's because they robbed a bank? You still want to give them a ride? I mean, I know it's a silly example, but my point is, if it doesn't align with you anymore, then is it really breaking integrity towards yourself? Because at the end of the day, and this goes back to the discussion about breaking integrity towards other people, as long as it's aligned
Lotus.
with you, what she's
Lotus,
going
I'm going to scold you. Ask for 40%.
ask for 40%.
Today on Broken Integrity.
That's fantastic.
But, I mean, it fits.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm not repeating that one. Go ahead.
No. If you have to break trust with somebody else, there's got to be a damn good reason. I guess that's my point. And if that damn good reasons mean it goes against your core beliefs and your values and is not aligned with you as you initially thought it was when you first made that promise, it's almost like, well, who broke the contract here? Because this isn't what you signed up for. And so release yourself from that sense of obligation and recognize that it's actually maintaining your authenticity if you step away from something that's really not aligned with you. If you just don't feel like it, well, then shame on you. You need to go and do what you said you were going to do, because that ain't on them if you decide to change your mind last minute because you don't feel like it anymore. We're not talking about that kind of stuff. We're talking about stuff that doesn't align with you.
And when you are developing and it's beaten into you or scolded into you, you have to put others first. That's what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. If you are taught throughout your life, which unfortunately not enough are, to put yourself first. It's not selfish to do this. If what you are being asked to do is out of your integrity, and if it's out of your own self-care, I mean, there are agreements that we make in this life that create a gray area to what I'm saying, and I'm aware of that.
Right.
Because we do make agreements that, okay, I'm going to accept this position. I'm going to accept the integrity that goes along with this position. I'm going to have to put myself second many times. That's the gray area. I'm talking on the grand scheme. Where you have, if it's not in your best interest, if it's not in alignment with you, if it doesn't resonate with you, if it's not bringing the good, and you do it anyway, on this branch of broken integrity, you're doing this, just that.
Should we hit the self-love branch?
It's time.
Well, I'm not reading all the comments because it's going too fast for me. Because I see a lot going on. Somewhere in there, I saw something about doing better, being better, and that's a self-love train to me. And so I wanted to talk about that for a minute, because if you are practicing conscious awareness of self and you are giving yourself the opportunity to recognize when you don't feel like you're aligned and choose in that moment to redirect yourself so that you are more aligned, then you're taking care of yourself. But if you're continuing the same behavior and thought pattern and then shaming yourself for it and just maintaining it and keeping it going, then you are breaking integrity with yourself. And that is self-bullying. Like, if you're promising to treat yourself more kindly and nicely and you're sabotaging yourself because it's comfortable and it's a habit, you're breaking your own integrity. So hold yourself accountable when it comes to your healing journey and practicing the techniques of self-love that bring you to a different mindset about yourself that shifts your entire reality. That you have to hold yourself accountable to. That doesn't mean shaming. There's self-compassion in every single piece of this. But the broken integrity that we are the most guilty of is that of self-love. What's that say?
What if what you want will hurt someone else? I guess that is a pray about it sort of question.
if that's someone else, and that's a pray about it question, but it's also one of those questions where there's different contexts for that. Like, is it with an intimate partner? Is it a child? Is it a parent? Is it a best friend? Is it a coworker? There's different dynamics and different answers for that same question. So, being that you brought it up, I'm going to assume that it's somebody close to you and that you don't want to hurt. Nobody deserves
Polyjammers.
anything but what? Polyjammers. I just,
Okay. Since she's on laughter pause, I'm going to jump in real quick.
Okay, go for it.
Because when it comes to an intimate partner, if what you need to say, what you need to do has the potential for hurting them, you need to tell them. Because here's the truth, as far as I can see it, okay? It may not be the truth, but here's my the truth. If you are feeling a certain way and you don't tell your intimate partner, you're hurting them. And you're also hurting yourself, because you have to maintain that lie that nothing's wrong. And this is broken integrity if you are not expressing how you feel. You're hurting me. I didn't like that. Could you please, this isn't working. Things along those lines. And what holds us back is the fear of the response, that we are going to feel shamed, that they're going to be angry, resent us, leave us, for whatever trauma bonds there are with that. So we don't do it until we do, and we kitchen sink them, or we throw everything at them. But
so I'm going to go back to the question, which is, well, what if? And so the answer is, yeah, so what if? What if their response is to combat it, to deny, dismiss, invalidate, and whatever? Or perhaps it doesn't align with what their idea of what needs to happen is, etc. At the end of the day, this is your experience, and this is going to bring to surface whether or not your beliefs are in alignment, or whether or not you're on the same page, and whether or not you're there to support each other fully and completely. It's a good indicator for you of how you're going to navigate through this different set of ideas. Sometimes you get an initial argument because you need to bring them to understanding your perspective and why it's important to you. If they're not receptive to that, and it's a my way or the highway kind of a circumstance, then they're not taking your needs into consideration. And what about hurting you? That's breaking integrity towards yourself, because now you're not being authentic.
That answers this. Okay, I get what you're saying, because I've been through it. But what happens if all you get all the or what you get all the time, I did not do anything wrong? Well, then you're being gaslit.
It's not a healthy environment. That's manipulating you, and you're never going to be able to move forward when it's inconvenient for someone else. And if that someone else is an intimate partner, then they need to also be giving you the same kind of support that you give them. You're not telling them to stop doing what works for them. It's got to go both ways. So if it's one-sided and you're doing all the support and the giving and the holding space and all that stuff, but you're not receiving it, it's not a healthy dynamic at all.
And even if you get told every time, if you are saying it, you are holding your integrity by holding accountability for how you feel. And if you are, you can hold another person accountable for them making you feel a certain way or not doing something. You can try and hold them accountable all you want. You can get upset that they didn't do something. You can get upset that they said words that created thoughts, that created feelings, and an experience that made you miserable. You can if you want. But once those words leave their mouths and it's in the processes, it's what you do with it afterwards. It's your integrity and your accountability to decide what you're going to do with what you just heard. And that's not a popular statement, but it's true.
And you're not responsible for how they respond. If they're going to respond with a tantrum or something uncomfortable or berating, or if their response is anything less than emotionally mature and caring and considerate of your needs in the relationship, it's not a healthy response at all. And you cannot take responsibility for someone else's feelings in response. You can only take responsibility for yourself and your choices that you make that are either going to be in alignment and resonant with you and move yourself forward, or in complete self-sacrifice to tiptoe around someone else's projected expectations of you.
Yeah. Good, Angel. Good. And I just want to, Jonathan says, I guess I keep questioning myself. Will this work out? When will it work out? How will it work out? Wondering what it's referring to, no matter how many times I try to drown out the noise. I'm going to put this in a way that you're going to really understand. Change the song. Change the song. Because the lyrics in your head ain't working. If that's what you're hearing and if that's the experience that you're having, change the song. Rewrite the lyrics.
By believing in yourself, because you started that statement with, I keep doubting myself, and listing all the things that weren't working. How about believing in yourself, giving that a shot, and validating yourself and giving yourself an opportunity to instead see all that negative stuff, see all the empowering things about yourself. That'll help you believe in yourself.
Look what it's done for your singing. So if you can do that with everything else, you're going to rise.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it keeps floating in my head, and we got to cover it. We got to talk about it because it's coming up. It's 2 months away now, less than 2 months away now, when everybody spends the next several weeks. What am I going to do differently next year?
Because why do you have to wait till next year?
Because the resolutions, they come.
But why do we have to wait till then? We have right now in this moment to stop thinking negatively about ourselves and to start having our own backs and showing up for ourselves, because we are the biggest culprit of our own broken integrity when it comes to matters of the heart and mind.
You know the only resolution that I've ever been able to maintain?
Which one?
I'm not making one.
I'm with you on that train. I don't do resolutions.
Why? Because, and I know that this isn't New Year's, but whenever we get really excited about something that we see that we want to make a change, we find a new fad diet, we find a new exercise routine, we find a new way to craft whatever we enjoy making, and we get really excited about it for a little bit. But then it tapers off. And this does line up if you think about it, because when you start making promises to yourself, when you start fulfilling the promises and maintaining those promises to yourself, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to feel more worth. You're going to feel more value. You're not going to be shaming yourself. You're not going to be gaslighting yourself. We've talked about all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Because the worst thing you can do is gaslight yourself because you didn't listen to yourself. Don't gaslight it. Change it. Just do it. Just listen to yourself. Listen to those gut instincts. The only thing that we did talk about was right before we went live today. I was telling Diane about something new that I'm doing over on my TikTok feeds or my lives over there, where I'll offer incentive must be fulfilled first, but I'll offer a lightning yes or no round where they can ask me any question they want as long as it's a yes or no. And I'm not going to pull the cards. It's just going to be what comes in. And the reason that I do it and that I was guided to do it was to show them just how fast our natural gut instinct is. Because when you ask yourself a question, when you ask your body a question that the mind can't filter, it doesn't have time, you're going to get the right answer, even if it feels wrong.
Always go with the first one that comes to mind, because you will second guess yourself and you will come up with it. Yeah, but what if?
Yes, do not yeah but yourself. If you yeah but yourself, then you're going to wind up a year later going, God, I wish I'd listened to myself. And you will experience what broken integrity actually is, because you will have wanted to make a decision. You will have wanted to do something differently. You will have wanted to change, and you didn't because you second guessed what you needed to do.
Yeah. And that's probably one of the biggest ways that we betray ourselves and break integrity towards ourselves, is not believing ourselves. We invalidate and dismiss ourselves because, you know, all of the laundry list of reasons starting from our childhood of why, you know.
I mean, now if you ask yourself, should I drink this chemical over here, and the self says yes, then you have a bigger problem that neither one of us are licensed to help you with. Okay, so keep that in mind, please. If you are having some of those altered thoughts, and your gut is causing you to do things that are creating different circumstances, please don't listen to anything I just said, because that's a completely different problem. I just had to throw that in there. I just had to throw that in there. And Lotus, you kind of hit the nail on the head, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Because some orange-haired taco twit said it was a good idea. You know, no.
All right, y'all are funny in the chat.
But the voices tell me, yes, that's exactly what I'm pointing to.
That's funny. Y'all are funny.
That's exactly what I'm pointing to.
So, if you guys take anything away from this conversation, it is everything outside of yourself needs to be aligned with who you are on the inside. So there's always compassion in those spaces and places that make the transition to you easier, to, you know, you maintaining integrity easier. However, when it comes to self-love and that healing journey, it is a different situation, because I think we're harder on ourselves in that aspect. We give ourselves more of a hard time because it's really drilled into us not to treat ourselves with the love and respect and the kindness and compassion that we give everyone else. And so that's where the biggest shift has to occur, so that we can hold ourselves accountable to being kind to ourselves, to supporting our own needs the way we need them, to giving ourselves the grace that we need when we need to, you know, have a cheat day or whatever it is that we need to do. That's not, you know what I mean? So
taking a rest is integrity.
It's important.
It is, because it's taking care of yourself.
Yes. Yes. And you're welcome to those who were mentioning my name in there. Thank you. Thank you for receiving.
And yes, you guys are just silly. Quick shout
It's
out
okay.
to our live chat. We got Lunaria, Jonathan Lane, May Sunflower, Lotus on the Moon, Polygamorous, Rockin' Cherry was here. I don't know if he's just gone quiet. Angel Eyes is over in, oh, she moved over to Twitch. Awesome. There's Angel Eyes too. Anybody else that I missed? Nope, looks like I got everybody. But thank you guys for being here and being
Thank
part of
you.
the conversation, because it makes it easier for us to figure out what threads and what branches we need to go down. We don't have to make it up as we go, even though we do.
Yeah.
And I don't
We
want to know
do.
what's up with the vegetable or fruit that, or whatever that you're talking about. I
Don't know.
Don't want to know. Nope.
I feel like we covered a lot though on this topic, but it's never ending. There's tons of branches that we
Oh
can go
yeah,
on,
absolutely, absolutely.
especially with the breaking integrity and not holding ourselves accountable in ways that we need to show up for ourselves. I just want to add to that whole thing. There's compassion in every piece of this. And I always go back to the compassion piece, because no matter what, until you make yourself consciously aware and you're intentionally thinking about something and consciously deciding to do X, Y, and Z, it's, you got to get yourself into that momentum flow, and you have to give yourself the grace to get into that habit. If you keep judging yourself, you're just going to keep yourself in that lower state.
Yeah.
You've got to give yourself grace through all of these processes, right? No matter what. Veggie Tales, the cartoon, my kids watch that.
Yeah, they're talking about that's. So apparently, I can mention the cucumber because it's a reference to Veggie Tales. So I don't know. I don't get it because I never watched it.
It's adorable. I liked it. They were really cute. Now I have the theme song in my head. Thank you very much.
I'm so glad I didn't know it. Anyway, here's an interesting exercise you guys can try if you want to see where you've broken your own integrity. Do a journal prompt and reflect on promises that you've made yourself, things that you said you were going to do and didn't. And just take a look at it. Once you finish, take a look at it again. What didn't align? What doesn't align? What don't you care about doing anymore? And if you don't, and if it doesn't fit, don't hold on to it. You don't need to gaslight yourself because you didn't achieve that particular goal. It wasn't meant to happen. So be kinder to yourselves. Don't gaslight.
Be nice.
Be nice. Be nice to little Polygamorous and little Lunaria and little Lotus Moon, because that's where all the broken integrity started.
Mm-hmm.
It was when those little ones got afraid to be themselves.
So remind yourself that you're safe with yourself, and you'll remember to be nicer to yourself, because you're not going to be mean to yourself when you are telling yourself that you're safe with yourself, because that's not safe with yourself if you're being mean to yourself.
No.
Yeah. So that'll be a nice affirmation to practice. I am safe with myself. Oh, look, there I am, healing Rose.
And you are safe with her. There you go.
Thank you. Yes. Transformational coaching, Sikem Sikim Reiki master teacher, trauma specialist, and it's a walking through it so that you can do it.
Yep, she might be pretty and she might have great results, but there are thorns on those stems that you're going to have to go through.
Yes. True.
Right?
That's right. Right. The thorns are there, but that's our shadow work that needs to
And
happen.
then there's me.
are.
I'm kind of a jackass comparatively
Oh
because
no.
I'm just going to tell you like it is and love you all the way through. Seriously.
Yes.
But
And you're gonna
both
like it.
both of these links are in the description, but you can use your phone to scan the QR code if you're interested in checking out either one of our websites. My pricing schedule, it has not changed yet. I've been really busy over on TikTok. If you haven't followed me over there, things are changing, and I'm having so much fun. The impact that's going on over there. I have since put Evolve and Emerge on pause for an undetermined amount of time. If I bring it back, it's not going to look the same, and it won't be the same. So, but for now, it's closed.
Yeah.
And I have one more shameless plug to throw at you guys tonight. I mentioned it yesterday, but if you have a moment, I'm going to put the link into the description as well. But my sister's fiance is recovering from brain damage after he was under a little bit too long without oxygen. And he has a very long road ahead of him. And part of that road is not being able to work and the medical expenses that are just building each and every day. So if you have the opportunity or capacity to send something, I know that they would appreciate it, and I would appreciate it as well. Even if you just have the positive vibes and in manifestations and intentions to send out, that's asked for too. So, and I would be breaking integrity if I didn't, because I made a promise.
Yes. And your book, how can they get your book?
How can they get my book? Right there.
There you go. Jonathan.
Which, by the way, over on TikTok this Friday. Now, I'll be going live again at 11 p.m. We're Wednesday, November 5th, just for a day tag for the replay people. So if you're watching this on replay, for the moment, I'm going live almost every night at 11 p.m. over on TikTok. Look me up. It's under Brindlewolf. And this Friday, November 7th, to celebrate with my super fans, I'm going to be reading during that sub only. You have to be a subscriber. I'm going to be reading the introduction live in that live. Okay? So that's something to look forward to.
I'm going to throw something out here because I mentioned to you earlier that before we got on that I'd like to do a show. I haven't kind of found a direction yet. So I'm going to throw it out there to all you guys. What would you like to hear from me, or what would you want me to discuss on a separate show?
And if you want to know where to put it, you can go over to Rise Awakenings on Facebook, and you can throw up the suggestions. Hey, Diane, this is what we want you to do. This is this is what we're interested in. Throw it up over there.
Yes, thank you.
And coming up December 4th.
That's darker. Okay.
Coming up December 4th. And it's going to be at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Yes.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday. And it's going to be a new concept with Lunaria, Michka, and myself.
Oh.
And should we tell them a little bit about it?
No.
And give them a teaser? No, not yet. No teasing?
But it's going to be called The Core.
Right. And I've never seen it done before. So I'm excited for that. That's very exciting.
The core stands for Collective Oracle Reading Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the three co-founders of Rise Awakenings all gathered together for something that you've never experienced before. And it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
So
it'll be a lot of fun.
that's the wrap up for this week.
Yeah.
Any ideas for next week? Because it's your turn.
It will be my turn. I'm gonna get inspired, and then I'll
Polly
find
Jammer's she wants a follow up to what we just talked about.
accountability, taking accountability.
Taking accountability.
Then let's do it. Let's do taking accountability, because there's a lot of branches there.
Rockin' Cherry. Rockin' Cherry just went in the chat.
Yeah. All right, Polly Jammer's, you're
that's
on.
going to be an interesting song to come up with.
Taking accountability, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have
It
to think on
definitely
that
is.
one. Private message me, Polly Jammers, in which direction you want us to take it, and that'll give me a better idea of how.
Yes, adding
to do
context
that song.
helps.
Yeah, throw me some context over in the PM. All right, it's a really loaded topic, and
Yeah.
so you guys have an amazing week. Lunaria will be back Friday. Don't forget, she moved Illuminate from Thursdays to Fridays, and that's in anticipation of the core coming. So this
To
Friday
11.
to 11. So it'll
Right.
be right before the sub only on TikTok with me. All right. So
Yay.
check out Illuminate with Lunaria this Friday at 11 a.m. And
11
have an
a.m.
amazing night. Love
Have
yourselves.
an amazing night. Love you all.
Love yourselves. And now that you have a little bit of understanding where it went, one more time for the people in the back. Love you.
Love
I told the mirror I'd change my ways. Swore to the sunrise I'd face my days. But my shadow knows, it always knows. Promises crumble like paper in rain. I'm the thief and the victim too, breaking deals with my own truth. Broken integrity, it's all I see. A house of cards collapsing in me. Broken integrity, it cuts so deep. I'm wide awake, but I can't keep me. I etch my vows in the foggy glass, watch them vanish as the moment pass. My reflection smirks, it's in on the game, it knows my patterns, it knows my shame. Words I whisper, they fade like smoke. Every promise just a cruel joke. Broken integrity, it's all I see. A house of cards collapsing in me. Broken integrity, it cuts so deep. I'm wide awake, but I can't keep me. Made too many promises that I couldn't keep. Crawling out of the dark, swimming up from the deep. Can I shake this pain? Because it always hurts. If I live my truth, can I remove this curse and not living? Broken integrity, it's all I see. A house of cards collapsing in me. Broken integrity, it cuts so deep. I'm wide awake, but I can't keep me.
It's Brindlewolf and Diane. So listen up if you can. Yeah, journey with them today as they help you find your way. Oh, mental wellness is the topic of the hour. Mental health and the power to tap into our alignments will lead to our refinements. Phoenix Talk, a show like you've never seen. Phoenix Talks, awareness that is never